Hey YouTube friends and family, how's everybody doing? Again, I hope all of you are doing well. Today's a very disturbing day. We pretty much all have seen what happened in an elementary school in Connecticut, where 27 people have been killed, 18 of which were little children, little elementary children. It's heartbreaking. And like many of you, I say to the survivors and the people that have suffered this horrendous act in one form or another, that we send our condolences, our love, and our support in any way that we can. The sad thing is, this has been happening so often, and all of these episodes just don't seem to be a normal act. Well, I can't use the word normal because of course it's not normal, but it just doesn't seem like it's real. There's just an oddity to the entire episode. And we're not the only country that's going through this stuff. One of our YouTubers shared with us today that in China there were 22 children that were slain today. 2 hours earlier in time than the one here in the United States. My father used to tell me, and I'll use his words, "Sissy, you cannot fix the world." And I'd say to him, "I know, Daddy, but I'm going to keep trying." Maybe that's true, Daddy, but I'm going to keep trying. I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that love, honest to God, sincere, true love, is what's missing in our world. And it's been dissolved by corruption and evilness and programming that is beyond the comprehension of anybody with any normal mind. We see it on TV all the time. Since I've been down, I've had the opportunity, and I'm going to call it an opportunity, to watch more TV. And what I'm seeing is very disturbing. We have a pharmaceutical addiction in the United States that would just blow your mind. And yet, people pay no attention. This problem is so sad that they offer drugs for specific ailments such as sleep disorders or incontinence, bladder problem, for depression, for allergies. And if anybody pays any attention to the side effects, they'll find out that the side effects far exceed any possible problem that a person could have. And they even take it a step further. They say if you have the inability to pay for these drugs, to contact the drug manufacturer, and they can help you get them. Talk about pushers. And it's all a money game. Big Pharma is one of the biggest, most successful, wealthy corporations in the entire world. It's pathetic. It's sad. The psychiatric industry, and I'm going to call it an industry, because that's exactly what it is. It's nothing more than a business, has taken away every true emotion that people have and called it a disorder, an ailment. And they've created drugs in their mad labs to remove the true emotions of people. Our world's sad. The inability to love one another and care about one another has grown so mass that it's destroying everything good in our world. And yet people refuse to see it. I watched this speech from Obama in regard to this elementary shooting where 27 people were killed. And it sickened me. Absolutely sickened me. The reason it sickened me is I didn't see any sincerity. It shows him wiping his eyes as if there were tears. And yet you don't see any moisture. You don't see any tears. I've never been able to cry without tears. Have you? And he takes it a step further. Basically, he says, it's time now to put a stop to the ability for people to take guns and use them against one another, or to go into Aurora, Colorado, or Connecticut school, or Oregon, Portland Mall, and all the other places, and shoot or maim anybody. Taking guns away from Americans is not going to solve the problem, because the problem isn't there. That's not where the problem lays. And yet very few people are taking time to really listen and pay attention. YouTube is full of people that are paying attention. We do see. We see what's going on. Some of us see a little more than others. By taking away the true emotions of people, we are destroying the most beautiful part of our world. And that's the ability to cohabitate and live together. They're doing it in many ways. Drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, is just one way. That's one of many. They teach us not to like each other, to look for faults in one another. These young people that were expressing themselves by wearing weird hairdos, like the dyed hair, dyeing it purple and pink and green, and the mohawks and the shaved heads and all the piercings and the tattoos and all the things that people choose to make themselves unique. We're being taught or led to believe that that makes the person different in a way that is unacceptable. We're being taught that people that smoke cigarettes are not acceptable in society. We're being taught that people that overeat are not acceptable in society. We're being taught that if our preference for a love or a person to live with and cohabitate with is not of the opposite sex, that we are not acceptable. We're being taught that if we don't live in wealth and all of our children have an iPod or a cell phone, and we don't live in a big fancy house with two vehicles, one of them being a SUV and perhaps a sports car, that we're unacceptable. We're being taught to dislike one another. We're being taught that if a person lives in a country where they wear a special piece of garment on their body or a turban or they cover their faces, that they are not acceptable to a country that doesn't do that. These problems are being deep-seated into us, inbred into us, programmed into us, and it's destroying our world. People are beginning to feel helpless, overwhelmed, sad, depressed. The anxiety is building. And yet each and every one of us has the answer, and nobody's using it. It's love. Why is everybody buying into this stuff? Why do you buy into these wars? Why do you believe that they're right? What are we fighting for? Why are we invading these other countries? There's no good answer. No good answer at all. There's no reason. Why is the government taking away the rights of the people? They're even trying to take away your right to grow a garden in your own property. Oh wait, what am I saying? There is an executive order that says that that property's not yours. Your home isn't yours. Your belongings are not yours, not your clothes, not your pets, not your kids, not your cars, not your Christmas tree. They're not yours. They don't belong to you anymore. There's an executive order that says so, signed by your president. Why? Why do we allow this? Why do the people allow this? Why do we turn against each other instead of standing up against the people that are culprits, the people that are evil, the ones that are undoing the goodness of this world? Look around you. Watch the videos. Read the comments. Listen to people. People are afraid. They're scared. They're lonely. They're depressed. Why aren't we working together to fix it? Now, Daddy was right. I can't fix the world. I can't. I can't make you understand the depths of my love for each and every one of you. I have a hard time expressing the depth of my love to the people that are close to me. There's no guarantee that they even understand. But the love that I feel is very, very real. There's somebody in the UK right now that I would give anything to be with, to stand beside, to walk up and give a great big hug to. I would let that person cry on my shoulder because they need to cry. Their world is turning upside down. They hurt. Their heart is broken. They feel alone. They feel confused. I'd give anything to be able to change that. There's another person in Colorado that's feeling very depressed and very hurt and very lonely. I do the same thing for him. And I'd do it for you, if I could. Realistically, I can't. So Daddy was probably right. I can't fix the world. Not by myself. But my friends, we could fix it together. People just have to start rethinking the values. Get rid of the dang cell phones, the iPods, the this, the that's. Start focusing on one another and loving one another. Doing what's right for each other. That's all I have to say. I love you all. Great big hugs.